Hello, Music Multiverse listeners, and welcome to Beyond Your Radio. It's Saturday. What does Saturday mean? Saturday means it's Album Review Saturdays. On the website right now is the blog of the three albums I'm going to mention right now and talk briefly about. And you can see the expanded written verbiage I pontificate or whatever the hell it is I write and what style they call it. So tonight it's La Chinga, brand new album Primal Forces. Steven Wilson's latest, The Harmony Codex, and Dope Lord, Songs for Satan. Now, as I stated in the opening paragraph, I had intentions of listening to other records, just wasn't in the mood for it. And that's kind of that point of that first paragraph. Sometimes you want to listen to something and you're ready for it, and it's just not where your head is at, where your mood is at. So I pulled a quick juxtaposition and grabbed what I thought I might be in the mood for, and this is where I was at. So let's start with La Chinga. Primal Forces. First of all, when Ripple Music comes out, got their stoner psychedelic doom metal minions on social media, ripping it up. And I see this has been waiting and waiting and waiting to come out. And then it finally does. I'm interested. I don't even know what it's going to sound like because I've never heard of them before. No, I don't have the luxury in my position as a music obsessive to try it all, talk about it all, manic in search of the next greatest record that will dominate my ears. But man, there's this list of stuff that sits here, albums that are all piled up over here that you can't see that I'm going to listen to. But when they saw La Chinga, I dropped everything and went to this because I'm usually never disappointed. La Chinga's Primal Forces was instantly moved up the list when it popped into my collection. Yes, I'm a Ripple subscriber. You should be too, for wickedly obvious reasons, but they made me a musical offer I couldn't refuse. The post, their name, the cover, and the emojis that followed had me ready to go. Primal Forces is an old school hard rock slammer, busting at the seams with glam metal at a relentless pace. You got some Scorpion-like vocal, maybe AC/DC here and there, and Guns N' Roses. A hard rock late 80s style and sensibility that's not afraid of anything, reaching for whatever the band can muster up. They spare nothing in guitar ripping space, metal scream, bass thump, raspy moments to roughhouse each blistering track. They call to the wild, they yell at the witches, they ride off thunderous ruckusly into stirring drum. They serve up delicious solo guitars, stunning grooves and harmony too, so you don't forget that roots rock and roll and blues that maybe they came from, that they delivered a little bit of a warp speed. It's so primal. You'll know that the force of it is on you. By the time you're done, you're going to realize a few things. Vocalists can bring it. The band is absolutely no joke. And you're sweating because you were air drumming, doing the guitar, and you're all sweated up by the time it's over. So anyway, that's La Chinga, Primal Forces from our good friends at Ripple Music. It's about 10 tracks, and they run around the 5-minute mark. Some a little bit younger than that, or a little younger in timing. Then it was the album I started with. Steve Wilson is the elite music man of the multiverse. He is probably one of the most coveted producers and resurrectors of remastering or remixing at a level of super genius. And he's got a fantastic progressive rock band called Porcupine Tree that he's been the leader and chief orchestrator of, as well as Blackfield and No Man, and I'm probably forgetting some other albums too, or bands that he's involved in. But how good this guy's ear for music is like, one of those Food Network people with their taste buds that can tell you everything. He has probably the best ear in music. So what has he been doing? He did Jethro Tull, Steve Hackett, King Crimson, Gentle Giant, Tech Nine, and Ian Anderson, just to mention a few. Yes, he's even contributed artwork too, but I'm not even going to get into that. Let's just talk about how good Harmony Codex is and why. And I'm no Wilson lover like Tom Hanks in that movie there. I'm starting to get into the overall Steve Wilson project. And I got to say, Harmony Codex is such an experience, a deep, immersive experience to the point that, I might even tell you and say to you that you might be picking up an album that's as good as Dark Side of the Moon, although not in the same vein of how it's delivered. So what do you get here? This album is magical. Impressive deep swim from a lovely calm lake and the bass and jazz tempests that arrive, and then your consistency and groove that moves us from the lake to maybe the ocean or even a raging river. You swim though. And while you might panic a smidge, your ears keep you holding on to that life raft, driftwood, or doggy paddling, whatever it takes, as you maybe hear some voices, including that of Steven Wilson himself, that call out to you, maybe from the shore, from the ethereal. Why do I say swim? Because anytime you step into a Steven Wilson record, you don't know the temperature of the water. You don't know what the experience is going to be, which is the most astounding part of it all. You jump in anyway. I'm not going to get into the possibility of this being a conceptual record because I think anything he does has a concept and design, a musical story grip that, has some sort of strange stranglehold. A journey, goddammit. That's what this is. It's a journey. One of the most beautifully produced journeys this year, without a doubt. The Harmony Codex and the harmony of it, while not always how you expect harmony to be, is gorgeous. It's intriguing, it's devouring, and in some cases, soothing and enlightening. This album has the right amount of everything his progressive ear can encompass and pass on to the listener. It just sounds amazing. There is a voice in the lead track that is more than halfway through the album states, I came here searching for something. And that timing is important, as the rest of the record assures you of that search, the struggle. The moments are all part of a fantastical audio journey. There's piano jazz against electronic mood and bass and progressive lyrical delivery. And then actual brutal thoughts comes along and brings in the darker aggressive harmonics and fearfulness, attempting to pull away, leading to the staircase finale that brings in a slow hand blues guitar, which is a little stunning, and rich tempo without losing any of the momentum. I'm sure, too, that more we listen to this, the closer the Harmony Codex is going to come to audio perfection. I'm serious. This is, lock it in. It's fearless. So keep that in mind. P.S. If you go all in on the deluxe version, you're in for a harmonic distortion second CD and this immersive Blu-ray DVD, which you can click on, I think, on our website to get a little picture of that from his. He's got a bunch of people on this that I do not know about that he's included in this album, but you can read those as well. This is 10 tracks, and it's an hour and 4 minutes long, I think, is the total on it. And totally can't wait to listen to it again. You should definitely put this in your collection. Any progressive person, don't think that this isn't a progressive record. It is, but it's progressive in only a Steven Wilson can do it and sort of touch Porcupine Tree, but not get too in touch with it. So what do I finish that up with? I pick up Dope Lords, Songs for Satan. I told you I was in a mood, right? It's a strange freaking mood. Bet you weren't expecting this, though. Let's get down with doom sludge metal seeping into my earbuds. But it's Polish style. No, it's not that kind of Polish style. Poland's Dope Lord is easily plodding, Plodding, fiendishly through the hooky dark maze of infinitely sludge metal blues, with a sense of sick Sabbath purpose in more ways than one. But I don't need to get all sacrilegious to appreciate the amped up, fuzz-drenched thrashing of angst that's trashing oppressiveness. I liken this to a war. In the literal sense, one thinks the Polish took on the German tanks with horses. Well, that was feudal, wasn't it? But here, now they've garnished and polished and branded a metallic monster of their own to stomp the enemy at their gate. Figuratively, sure, they have some electric guitars and could play, but now they've found a horrific muse and angst to yield like a thunderous wall of sound at their oppressors and anyone in the front row without earplugs. Songs for Satan is a pure delight. I know that sounds sick, doesn't it? Blistering sludge evil in delivery at every scale, note, and lyric. Are you damned listening to this? Or are you damned if you don't? Don't find out. Just put it on and get consumed. If you're in the wheelhouse of a tormented Alice in Chains, monstrous Black Sabbath, and maybe Earthless meets Acid Mammoth in a rated R Godzilla showdown, I think you got this one pegged. Inevitably, when you go to the Worms song, you've lost all hope. Cower. Walk aimlessly into the vocal rapture and relentless rhythm of the non-repentive few that will survive. Accept what's coming like you did when Sleep Token unleashed the Vor. Oh my, I'm slipping away here. Better to get a John Mayer sedative ready. I'm kidding, you can do this. You'll want to do this. So the band members I won't try to pronounce because it's, anything like my last name ending in SKI. But let you know that it's vocals, it's drums, it's guitars, it's bass, it's Mellotron. So what do I have for you beyond the three we just spoke about? Everyone ever hear of a band called Friendship Commanders? I had not. Rich from Twitter had this reply, said, have you ever heard, wasn't to me, it was to somebody else. When I saw that, I had to go look. This is female and male duo, an alternative rock duo, but it's much heavier sonic and blasting than what we've come to expect from those like maybe Royal Blood. Buick Audra, vocals and guitar. She has a wonderful, wonderful delivery and vocal style that has a lot of blues to it, but a lot of different range. Jerry Rowe, he's the drums, bass, and synth. Yeah. It's a body of work in the heavy alternative with hanging riffs and intense drum and bass. In the true mid-90s alternative, we'll call it. I was trying to think of who it sounded like, and it's a little bit difficult, but let me tell you one thing that came to mind was that driving guitar of Silverchair's first record, Frog Stomp, with Bush and Soundgarden. It's immersive, relentless melodic guitar work, distortion and sonic there, but there's synth too. And getting to understand them in the depths of her Massachusetts hell, because this album, which is called Mass, has everything to do with Buick's experience in Massachusetts in language and detail, etc. But you can read more of that on their website. It'll take some time to get through all of that, but it's time well spent. The only thing I wish is that the production took enough turn so that you could get a break to hear the authenticity of her voice, because I felt like everything was kind of fighting for the same level of sound. Although I didn't listen to this in earbuds most of the time. So I'm just that sound authority, right? I kind of like a wavering sound authority. Bring up the vocal, bring down the bass, bring it. Anyway, the only truly unique instance, and it might be not necessary for all, is her poetic ending called Dissonance, where she just speaks her truth in poetic detail with no sound whatsoever. But I'll let you be the judge. Pick this one up. I think it's worth it. I think there's a lot more coming from it. I even heard that I think the production person on this record is from the band Converge. So I think this band is probably going places that we all would love to go and have other bands that way. Finally, I went to Canada. No surprise. It's the rural Alberta Advantage. For their latest record, The Rise in the Fall, I've been kind of waiting for this because I wanted a little bit of redemption, because I kind of had them as that next true Canadian band that was going to emerge. And I thought the last record kind of dipped a little bit farther away from what they sounded like at the beginning. This is a fast-paced folk record with heavy production this time around, which works so bloody well with it all. in its tender places. The harmony and the banging pianos and acoustic guitars are all spot on, and they rise and they fall perfectly and respectively. At first listen, I was thinking this was a great return to their debut style, but the more I listened to the intensity and that reaches further than before, despite the familiar concepts, there's more pieces and features to enjoy. They are Canadian, and make no mistake, Can-Do is the abandoned high school near the reactor in the northern Saskatchewan that was like abandoned back in 1982. How do I know that? I had to do the research. Again, I'm not Canadian. Lyrics go to even the Alberta Clipper, the butchered oil operations in some area there and in and around, because you have to consider that Alberta is the energy providence, apparently. It's telling, too, because the band's energy is near reactor measures on this album. It's a very good pickup. A hint darker, of course, but the tones work with it very, very well. So if you're a folk rock Lumineer kind of individual, you're going to dig this record. Even maybe a little Night Sweats thing going on too. But remember, Canadian. I want to thank you for watching here on Album Review Saturdays, and keep coming back for more. Another 3 records next week, and who knows what else I'm going to be adding in the video commentary. Maybe I can get some panelists to join on too. So this week again, we had La Chinga's Primal Forces. That's basically a straight ahead glam rock, hard rock metal album. Then we had Steven Wilson's gorgeous and probably more progressive The Harmony Codex. And I'm telling you right now, that's a 2023 best of for sure. Then I put down some Poland. Poland, basically doom metal from Dope Lord. Songs for Satan. And then I went to Nashville for Friendship Commanders duo, alternative rock, and their new album Mass. Yes. And then I finished just a minute ago with Rural Alberta Advantage from Canada, The Rise and the Fall. Be on the lookout for more from us at www.beyondyourradio.com. And we'll see you next week for Album Listen Challenge, as well as songs from The Leaf. And then this coming Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, it's INXS Catalog Review Show. Thanks for watching and happy listening.